You ever listen to Ghibli sounds of the 70s? It's my personal favourite. You may want to look away for this next bit. Go on, go on. That's right. Look away. Nothing to see. Cue intro. Last year, I built my own world for Star Wars called the Dark Universe. This year, I thought I'd start a new universe, a more fantasy-driven one that will incorporate fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk, and anything else I can think of. This map will grow and more will be added as I expand this universe, and we will meet the residents, myths, and legends, and possibly monsters, of this strange faraway land. Welcome to Shambleshire. My name is Aaron, and you're watching Terrain by Aaron. Magic trick? Right, quick update. I used the legs from this spider for my spider tank build, and before throwing the leftovers away, I thought I'd try and build my own version of Howls Moving Castle. Because before the Howls Moving Castle film came out, the townsfolk of Shambleshire already had a huge lumbering beast in the hills of nothingness. They called it Gary simply because they weren't very good at naming things. Plus, he looked like a Gary. Let's think of this one as a giant snail with bits of anything stuck onto him. He wasn't a castle, more a collector. An organic, living, breathing thing that, well, it was a bonus to the townsfolk of Shambleshire because he didn't eat people, he just carried things around his back. And that's enough of the backstory for Gary, the moving castle, which technically isn't a castle, and on to the build. And this build was technically sponsored by the other half, who seems to be collecting junk for me to try and steer me off using her stuff. How she ever found out, I'll never know. So the build, I'm using some tank tracks from a 172 scale model kit. They have been put around some plasticard. Right now I'm just trying to work out how to get them stuck onto Gary's ribcage. And because of the plastic and the trouble I had with the legs from my previous build, this will probably all just be hot glue that I'll be using. It was fiddly and I filmed it off screen, but I got the wheels on and another side of a bit of Gary, and this is all the junk that the other half has collected for me. So here we go, and I'm just going to start taking things apart and seeing where things look good. And this bottle cap, it'll probably, yeah, it's going to go there. Like I explained, I'm using the hot glue because I found that the hot glue stuck better to the ribcage than normal CA glue. I don't think I'll be able to name every single piece of junk that I'm going to be gluing on, but this looked like it was some sort of sweet dispenser that I'm just going to, yeah, probably. Looks like, no. Come on Aaron, make a decision. Oh, no. Change my mind. Let's try and get something else. Another pipe, another bottle. That'll do. I'll stick that one on. I spared you the process of me going through each individual thing just to see where things looked okay, but this is the state of play so far. Gary's taking shape nicely. I've got lots of different stuff stuck onto him. This is, I put a ping pong ball on one of these, I don't know, it was some sort of like snake thing that sort of moved as you wiggled it around. Doesn't sound as weird as it as I just described. And that is going straight there. I think while I do that, I should do subscriber shoutouts. This segment is my way of saying thank you to all my subscribers who leave comments. Keep them coming. Also, if you're new here, press that subscribe button. It's free and really helps out the channel. Thank you very much. I'm just adding half a ping pong ball to the top of that chewing gum bottle. So let's get a close-up of how Gary looks right now. As you can see, there's different bottles, chewing gum bottles, ping pong balls, bits of spray bottles, that sort of stuff. And if we go to the back, it's this back bit now that I need to tackle. I'm going to bulk the back out with these two empty containers, which used to be Vaseline containers. Don't ask. So let's just have another 360 of everything that is on here, and it looks a complete mess, but I can see how the finished product's going to look. The bonus is that it stands by itself, which is great. And now it's just adding all the tiny little Ghiblis of anything that I could find, really. So I think it's time to do a code word for this video. If you got here before running off to either A, wash your hair, or B, maybe jump to the glamour shots, put this code word into your comments so I know you're a watcher and not just a peeper. And the code word is castle. As you can see, hopefully from this shot, I've added cogs for the wheels, some bits and pieces that I think Wolflag sent me ages ago. And then other little bits and pieces that I found in the garden shed, which is unusual because, as you know, I don't have a shed. My thinking is that Gary, even though he's an organic creature, he's going to use wind turbine to move, and also fossil fuels. So this little propeller is going to go right there. I'm adding even more Ghiblis, but you can't see that because of my monkey hands. But I assure you, some Ghiblis are going onto this build. I waited until the other half was out of the building to borrow her nail gems. I used these for rivets, and so begins the long, slow process of adding these to Gary. The pencil I'm using to pick up the gems is made of wax. I gently press onto the gem, then easily transfer it onto Gary. For a long time I've been using tweezers, which was a pain. If you can't find a wax pen, dip a pencil into some melted wax and that works just the same. So there is Gary all greebled up and ready for painting. And to prime Gary, I'm going to use Gallery's Kaleido Matte Black Primer. I'll include a link in the description for an extra 10% off your first order if you want to try these paints out yourself. Now this primer is 10 times better than any rattle can I've ever used. The only downside, and it's not just me being a spud, is when you pour it into the airbrush, the paint drips out all over your workbench. So I think the bottle top is a bad design and needs reworking. So Gary is primed everywhere and is on the, okay, it still stands. So now traditionally I would get a paintbrush and start painting this individually, but I'm feeling a bit cocky, got a bit of a swagger on, and I'm going to tackle it with the airbrush. So the first paint I'm going to put down is some turquoise, just to sort of give it that rusty sort of effect. It's a work in progress. There's going to be more layers added. So once that paint is dried, I'm going to go in with a red and just start to do certain areas red. Then I'm going to use a darker red for the top bits. Again, it's still a work in progress, so I'm just sort of spraying it until I get the feel for certain things. I don't want to sound pretentious or like Bob Ross, but not that Bob Ross was pretentious before I get the hate mail. What I'm saying is I'm just sort of feeling the colours. That sounds really pretentious. Move on. So I just keep adding different colours just to try and get certain shapes to pop out. So yeah, that's basically how I'm doing it. Obviously I'm not bothered about the paints bleeding into each other because the washes and that sort of stuff that I'll do will cover all the sins, as I say. Now I didn't want Gary to look brand new. I needed him to look dirty and sort of, grimy. So I'm just doing a quick dry brush of bronze just to bring out some of the piping and some of the other areas. I continued with more dry brushing and adding highlights, but my monkey hands got in the way, so let's just skip to the glamour shots. As always, thank you for watching. Leave a comment and all that YouTube stuff. Until next time, may I present Gary's Moving Castle, my homage to Howls, who strangely Gary's never met. Keep scratching that build, everybody. Thanks for watching.